So, what happens when someone eats off of your culture for over a decade, borrows your sound, your slang, your style, then turns around and tries to legally dismantle it when it doesn't work in their favor? That's not just ego, that's straight up exploitation. And that's exactly what Drake showed us with his defamation lawsuit. A lawsuit, might I add, has been dismissed. And what it revealed goes way beyond him losing in court. It exposed a truth that hip hop's been avoiding for a while now. That when we stop gatekeeping the culture, we give power to people who will destroy it in the moment it stops serving them.
Hi, my name is Jade, and welcome to Get Into the Black, where we explore life, business, and culture our way, from Puerto Rico to the world. And quick side note, I'm also an Airbnb host here in Puerto Rico. So if you're planning a trip, I'd love to host you. You can find the booking link right in the description box. So before we get into this video, go ahead and hit that like button like it owes you money. Drop a comment so I know you're awake. And subscribe. Why be a hater watching for free? Support the cause. We're on the road to 5K subscribers, and we're trying to hit that by the end of the year. So join the fam and help us get there. Now, let's get into this video.
Let's start with what went down. In early 2025, Drake sued UMG, his own label, claiming that Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us spread false accusations about him and hurt his little reputation. It made him cry. Boom, boom, boom. He said UMG used bots and unfair promo tactics to push the song at his expense. Basically, Drake didn't like the culture's reaction. So instead of responding like an MC, instead of getting in the booth, he went crying to corporate.
I told you punk ass niggas to get off the motherfucking timeline and rap. That's the problem. You niggas be crying. You niggas be bitching. You niggas need to fucking rap.
But in October 2025, a New York judge dismissed the case. She said, get that bullshit out of here. The court ruled that Kendrick's lyrics weren't statements of fact. They were just simply artistic expression. And I say, well, duh. Because in hip hop, trash talk and exaggeration are part of the DNA. That's how we sharpen iron with iron. And I mean, Drake, you knew that. Because you study rap battles for a living, right?
I study rap battles for a living.
If Drake had won, it would have opened the door for rappers to sue each other every single time they get their feelings hurt. That's not hip hop. That's censorship. And that's where the mask slips. Because what his lawsuit revealed is that Drake isn't participating in the culture, he's using it. When hip hop worked in his favor, he rode the wave. He brought accents, flows, aesthetics for every corner of the diaspora. He played every role that got him streams: Caribbean Drake, UK Drake, Afrobeat Drake, Houston Drake, Memphis Drake, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas Drake. But the second the culture pushed back, he weaponized power, not art. He didn't go to the booth, he went to the courthouse. And that moment right there proved what many of us had known for years. Drake was never of the culture. He was just in it, temporarily, a guest with a master key. See, being a culture vulture isn't about borrowing styles or sound. It's about taking from a culture without ever protecting it. It's about treating it like a resource instead of a responsibility. A real child of hip hop, even when they lose a battle, they know that's just part of the game. You take the L, you sharpen your pen, you come back swinging, harder than ever. But a culture vulture doesn't care about the game. They never got those life lessons. They only care about staying on top. And when they can't win fairly, they try to change the rules. That's what Drake tried to do. He wanted to turn rap battles, a sacred part of our culture, into a litigation zone. If he'd won, It would have set a dangerous precedent. One, with corporations and lawyers decide what can and cannot be said in hip hop. Imagine that. The same system that once tried to ban this music would now give the police its language. All because a man who built his brand on the culture couldn't handle the culture clapping back. And we can't ignore the detail that this man is not of the culture and holds a certain level of proximity to whiteness.
Oh boy, open up the window. It's getting all racial up in this piece.
This is why we must gatekeep. Gatekeeping isn't about exclusion, it's about protection. It's saying you can join us, but you can't exploit us. When you're of the culture, you treat it like home. You honor its rules, you respect its elders, you care about its survival. When you're not, you treat it like an Airbnb. You come in, use up the space, then leave it in trash when you're done. Drake lawsuit is what happens when you let guests redecorate your house. And I've seen the same thing happen on a smaller level too. In our community here in Puerto Rico, we've had people, especially mixed or non-Black folks, enter into our group chats that we were built for Black connection, for us to help build and maintain community here. We let them in. We welcome them with love because that's the kind of people we are. But when their behavior became toxic and we held them accountable, instead of reflecting, they tried to tear the whole thing down, literally doxing people and threatening to use their social medias to bring us harm. They didn't care about what we built. They cared about losing access to us. That what happens when people without cultural grounding are giving too much influence. When they're in, they benefit. When they're out, they destroy. And that's exactly what we saw with Drake. So what's the lesson here? If we don't protect the culture won't protect us. When outsiders gain too much power, that starts rewriting the rules to serve themselves. And when they're done, they just walk away, leaving the people who built it to pick up the pieces. We can't let that keep happening. Gatekeeping isn't about keeping people out. It's about keeping the foundation intact. It's about ensuring that the people who shape the culture actually respect it. Because when you love something, you don't destroy it when it doesn't serve you. You nurture it, even when it challenges you. Drake's lawsuit being dismissed wasn't just a win for Kendrick. It was a win for hip hop. Because if that lawsuit had succeeded, battle rap and maybe all of rap would have been put on a leash. It would have been the first domino in a long line of censorship, something we already know we had to already deal with within the industry. But more than that, it was a mere moment, a chance for us to come and see who's really for the culture and who's just feeding off of it. So pay attention, guys. Pay attention to who you saw backing him during that time. Drake's actions showed us that success doesn't equal belonging. Influence doesn't equal integrity. And being in hip hop is not the same as being of hip hop. That's what makes him the ultimate culture vulture. So let this be a reminder. If we don't gatekeep our culture, someone else will own it, and we'll just be guests in the house we built. If you enjoyed this video, I think you would like my breakdown of the song Vulture by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I'll leave it at the end of this video. And with that being said, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay Black. This is Jade, and you're watching Get Into the Black. Bye bye.